You ever heard the expression, misery loves company? Yeah. Well, it's used to convey that I'm not alone in feeling something bad has happened to me, or that I have had a bad experience. And knowing that others share these same negative feelings helps to make me feel a little better about myself or about my particular situation. Well, that expression came to mind when I read the words of St. Paul this morning in that reading to Romans. He said, the things that I do not want to do, they seem to have a power over me. I do not do the good I want, but I do the evil I do not want. Now, here's an instance for me where misery loves company, because St. Paul feels the way I do, and the way a lot of people do and have felt over the years. How many of us have done something only to ask ourselves, well, why did I do that? Okay. Well, Paul told us why. Because sin dwells in us. Now, did you ever see the advertisement which depicts a can of disinfectant that gets rid of germs? In the commercial, the germs are dancing around and they're having a great time, and out comes the can of Raid, and it's sprayed, and they disappear. Well, that same thing can be done with those pesky little sins that sometimes overwhelm us. St. Paul is so helpful in this reading today. He acknowledges that he's trying to live by the law of God, but there is this other reality that takes over his life. He feels miserable about himself, and so do we sometimes when this happens. But he came to believe in a power greater than himself and greater than sin, and he made a decision to turn his life and his will over to the care of God. As to those sins that overtake us, well, it helps to remember what Mark Twain said. A habit cannot be tossed out the window. It has to be coaxed down the stairs one step at a time. In humanity's quest to rid ourselves of these pesky sins, these shortcomings, we search for a variety of help, but all too often overlook a help that is right at our fingertips. And Jesus pointed that out to us this morning in that gospel passage. He says, we humans know all about how to predict the weather. And we're all concerned about weather, especially if you have to commute, whereas I'm not that concerned because I only have a 1-minute commute. But we always talk a lot about the weather. But then Jesus goes on to say, well, why are you incapable of knowing the one who can help you get rid of these annoying sins that overcome and overtake you and seem to be powerless for you? We heard that Paul came to know and thank God through Jesus. Well, we too can come to know and thank God. In our relationship with Jesus, who walks with us, he will assist us and free us of those pesky little sins that overpower us from time to time when we ask and seek out his help.